Good morning. I am Dr. Dilip Satbhai and addressing you on certain important issues in the Income Tax Law of 1965. You would be aware that the date for submission of tax return has been extended till 15th of September 2025. However, it is not clear that whether the date also has been extended for making self-payment tax or self-assessment tax till that particular day. In the light of the controversies which are going on, I am just bringing you certain important issues which I have dealt with rigorous study and important issues. For taxpayers who are not required to get their accounts audited, such as salaried individuals, non-resident Indians, that those are NRIs, and pensioners, the original due date for filing the income tax return was 31st July 2025. However, the Income Tax Department has now extended the deadline for filing ITR for the financial year 24-25, assessment year 25-26 to 15 September 2025. Generally, 31st July is also the last date for such taxpayers to deposit their self-assessment tax. This is the remaining amount of the tax payable after deducting TDS and TCS and advance tax. If the taxpayer files their income tax return after the due date and also pays the self-assessment tax after the due date, then as per the clear provisions of the law, the taxpayer is liable to pay penal interest on the self-assessment tax under section 234A. Now the question that needs to be addressed is, will the penal interest be applicable if self-assessment tax is paid after 31st July 2025? Since the due date for filing income tax return for the financial year 24-25 has been extended by CBDT to 15 September 2025, this revised date shall be considered as the due date for the purposes of section 234A. Accordingly, as per the legal provisions, if the income tax is paid on or before extended due date of 15 September 2025, no interest under section 234A shall be levied. The position is supported by the Supreme Court decision in Commissioner of Income Tax versus Pranav Rai 309 ITR 231 2009 and CBDT circular under number 2/2015, wherein the Income Tax Department has accepted the court's ruling. Since the due date under section 139(1) has been extended to 15 September 2025 for the current year, interest under section 234A should not be applicable as per the aforementioned judgment. In the light of the aforementioned judgment, in several past instances where the due date for filing returns was extended, the CBDT had clearly stated that such extension would not be applicable for the purposes of section 234A and the calculation of interest would be made from the original due date. However, it is important to note that in the current year, CBDT circular number 6/2025 does not contain any such clarification. The CBDT has extended the due date to reasons beyond the control of the taxpayer, specifically the non-availability of utility for filing the return. Therefore, it is reasonable to interpret that if the return is filed on or before 15th of September 2025, interest under section 234A at the rate of 1% should not be levied technically. Moreover, considering that the announcement to extend the due date was made well before the release of the return filing utility, it is expected that the extended due date will be incorporated into the return utility facility as well. Otherwise, the utility will automatically calculate interest under section 234A if the return is filed after 31st July 2025. Whether the penal interest provisions are applicable to advance tax? Yes. If taxpayers fail to pay or underpay advance tax for the financial year 24-25, they are relevant to assessment year 25-26, they will be liable to pay penal interest as per the clear provisions of the law. If the taxpayer does not pay the full amount of advance tax by the due date, interest under section 234B becomes applicable. If the taxpayer pays advance tax less than the prescribed installment amount, then the interest will be charged under section 234C, even though the return filing due date has been extended penal interest for non-payment or shortfall in advance tax will continue to apply. So if you like this video of mine, please like it, subscribe it, and ensure that my YouTube channel prospers over a period of time. Thank you.